welcome into a fun episode of the Pain and Panda podcast. Adam Sheets rejoined by Disney boy over there, Chris Reynolds, who's come back from this humble abode. It's been I'm not going to talk about that, so we'll move on. But Disney's been a fun place. I heard there's some stuff going on, according to our friend Izzy. There's been some issues at Disney recently, but...
Yeah, no, Disney's in a weird period, but it was my first time back since doing the Disney College program, so good to be back, see Test Track 3.0. But the main problem, that I had was, it is really tough when there's sports on Sunday and you go to a park on a Sunday. And this was the first week where I did not see all the NFL games, and it kind of drove me crazy because, Monday, I'm watching all these recaps, and I'm like, you missed 1 week, and it feels like so much happened. But, 1 out of 17 weeks, you're 1 of 18 weeks now, you'll be fine. But I hated that feeling, Adam. I hated it.
Yeah. You made the choice, man. You made the choice. You sacrificed weekends in the fall. That's what you get, man. That's what you get.
Listen, and the bad part is, too, this week's slate is not nearly as good as last week's. So nope. I missed one of the better weeks.
There's some great games last week. Phenomenal games. But Bryce Young had a career day. You weren't here to talk about it.
I'm okay with that.
Franchise record
I also
passing.
want to say, I'm not going to take it personally, but our most viewed video is the first video that I'm not in.
Yep.
Hurt a little bit. Yep. People clicked on the video, did not see my face, and they stayed.
Yep. The fans love college football. 400
people up to this point, yeah.
Fans love college football. You refuse to let me talk about it. That's what happens.
Listen, you can talk about it.
Well, there's nothing to talk about right now outside of Lane Kiffin's not going to be the coach at Ole Miss next year. Feels like a guarantee. Sorry, Emma Holtz. Just the way things work sometimes. Shout out to Ann Holtz. Her and I have been talking about James Franklin getting a new job. That's, coaching searches now, because the playoff seems pretty set in stone outside of Miami and some other moves that could happen. But
I'll pretend like I know what you're talking about. Yes.
All you have to do is watch, ESPN on a Tuesday, and you know exactly what's going on.
I tune out on the college, but let's get to the NFL, Adam. That's what we're here for today.
Yeah.
Right now, we're recording during the Bills-Texans game. Right now, it's halftime, and the Texans...
Okay, hold up. They're kicking off the second half. Third quarter just underway.
Okay, it's about to start the second half.
Want to be factually correct. It's on over on the screen. They just kicked off. The returner and the Bills returner slid down at the 20-yard line.
Awesome. Well, I think what we can start is, even though we don't know the outcome of the game, I just want to say this year is incredibly surprising in the sense of we might have a new top of the AFC. We used to be the Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens dominating. And all three of those teams are probably not going to either win their division or they might be a lower seed and they might squeak into the playoffs. The Ravens are probably going to win the division, but the Bills are going to be a wild card team. The Chiefs maybe make it, and if they do, it'll be as a wild card team. Kind of weird, Adam. And I'm not saying that these quarterbacks are bad now. Obviously, Josh Allen, Lamar, and Patrick Mahomes are still great. But we're finally seeing the teams around them going down a level to where even though the quarterbacks are great, unless they carry the team or they just have a great week, they're a lot more susceptible to these losses. And maybe it's just, part of the human nature of they always make the playoffs and then now they have to go through 7 or 18 weeks just to make the playoffs where it matters. The Bills every year here, they have to beat the Chiefs. They have to beat the Chiefs. And maybe when you're looking so far ahead, you might have a mediocre regular season. But it is interesting, to say the very least, that the top 3 teams that we had, on paper, going into this year are, kind of fighting for the playoffs.
Yeah, they're fighting for the playoffs in 1 year. They'll probably be back next year, better than ever, but that's usually how it works.
Do you think they're going to be that much better next year?
Well, I'll tell you now, I do not believe the Ravens are going to have a losing record next year at this point. But I think they're going to have a winning record.
It's never about the record, it's about the team overall. The Ravens have a bad defense, and they have a lot of young pieces and new pieces that are still figuring it out. So I think maybe you could argue them, but Lamar is getting older. He's kind of having injuries this year that kind of keep holding him back, and he's a quarterback that very much relies on his athleticism, and I forget how old he is, but he's these quarterbacks are now kind of at the end of their physical peak. They might still be great as a quarterback, but in terms of raw athleticism, this is probably the end of that era, and now the start of
They're
the
entering
mental side.
They're entering their quarterback prime. That's exactly what they're entering, because
They
every
should
quarterback.
be, but I think with guys like Josh Allen and Lamar, what made them special was their physical
Yeah,
traits.
Josh has no arm. I know. There's just
I
no
think
arm.
Josh will be fine. His rushes, though, Josh, I don't think. Josh is now more of a up the middle, like 4 yards guy, just gets
Yeah.
the first down. But he used to be more of a scrambler. And Lamar was part running back, part quarterback. I think that is starting to go away as well.
Yeah, no, they're gonna evolve because they're good quarterbacks and they're gonna
But
be
I
fine.
don't think it's evolving out of like them choosing to. I think it's physically. I don't think Lamar is the runner that he was 4 years ago.
No one chooses to evolve. You have to adapt. That's what they do. They just,
But I don't
we're
think
gonna.
Lamar is like, I want to run less. I think he just is running less because it's less successful.
Yeah, it's like Kobe used to be able to jump over everybody. Then he got old, so it's like, okay, might as well learn how to shoot some jumpers. That's what he did.
Yeah.
LeBron, same thing. Hey, let's shoot some jumpers.
But you're assuming they learned how to shoot those jumpers. Not everyone can evolve and add those tools.
Well, you learn how to play quarterback. It's something you'll learn how to do. And these guys have been doing it. I mean, Lamar threw for over 4,000 yards.
Never learned.
Well, I'm talking about guys who are good. Lamar Jackson threw for 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns last year. That's just all passing.
But a lot of that passing comes off of teams fearing the run game with Derrick Henry and fearing Lamar's running. And when Derrick Henry I think he's 31 now, and this is this is one of his more down years, which is more concerning when you're 31 compared to when you're 25. Like there's some like warning signs, there's some red flags for these teams, and for the Chiefs, Kelsey's going to retire most likely,
which is going to help them.
I mean, their tools are good. They desperately need a running back. And their offensive line isn't great, so they kind of have to fix that. Their defense, I think the last few years was their best thing. It kind of seems like that's kind of coming down to earth as well. And Mahomes, I mean, he's been playing really well some games, but unless he's playing perfect, it seems like the Chiefs just lose these games. I'm saying, Adam, there might be a changing of the guard at the top of the AFC, but instead of one guard, it's three.
You're changing of the guard. You know how old these guys are? Patrick Mahomes just turned 30.
And it looks like he's turning
Josh
50.
Allen is 29.
He'll be fine.
Lamar is 28. These guys are young.
I'm not saying it's because they're getting old. I'm saying the teams aren't getting good. I think teams are...
Here's a good question. Who's going to win MVP this year?
Drake May or Matthew Stafford?
How old's Matthew Stafford?
No idea.
He's 38.
But Stafford never relied on running. Stafford has always been...
Patrick doesn't rely on running.
Patrick's running more than ever.
I know, which is crazy. He never had to rely on it. Now he is because they don't have a running back.
But I think like these guys have been running more than Stafford ever has. And I think though Stafford, I don't know what you talked about on Week 11 recap. I haven't gotten to watch it yet, but the Rams right now, their offense, they're doing the 13-man personnel with like the tight ends, and you can't tell if it's gonna be run or a pass. Teams are yet to figure it out, and Stafford is just back there with this big unit, having time to throw and just find Devontae Adams or Puka Nacua, and their offense is just humming right now.
Yep,
and I think that's great. But you look at other guys we don't have a lot of these running quarterbacks yet who've reached this age. Most of the quarterbacks from our era were kind of more pocket passers. Now we're seeing this. This was the next wave of quarterbacks. Now they're kind of hitting that 30 mark.
Yeah, Warren Moon played a long time.
I feel like that's a different sport, honestly. Like,
what? When you were allowed to hit the quarterbacks?
Yeah, exactly.
So he should have played less.
But it's just that football from that long ago. I don't even know how to compare it to those things. To me, it's like,
yeah, these guys are going to be fine because you can't touch them.
I feel like every 20 years, if you look back at a sport, it's so different. And it's kind of true for all of them. Like, I'm watching like these old basketball games before I go to bed, and I'm watching the 2013 finals, and then 2013. LeBron is just standing at the top of the three-point line, and there's no defense. They're all standing in the paint, and he's like revving up like a little wind-up car because he won't shoot. So he has to like drive into the lane into three people. And it's just like, that would never happen today.
Yeah, no. Basketball's a lot different. Football's actually helped the offense more now. Back then, it was impossible to play offense. You kill people and it'd be okay. Yeah. Nowadays, you can't touch them.
We'll see, Adam, but I just think it's interesting when you looked at, like, all right, who are the best teams in the AFC? Chiefs, Ravens, Bills. That's kind of been the top three for the last, like, four years.
Let me ask you something. So when the Colts pay Daniel Jones over $50 million this offseason, you think that core is going to stay together because they'll be able to afford everybody?
I think they'll have a 2 to 3 year stretch of competing, and then they'll fade out. But I'm saying, like, I don't think the Chiefs, Bills, or Ravens are a move away from increasing. I think they're kind of have this core that's only going to get older. The Chiefs just did the retooling a few years ago. So I don't really know how the Chiefs get better now.
Plus,
The Ravens...
who's knocking off the Ravens in that division?
I would love to argue a healthy Cincinnati, but they're stuck now where they had to pay
Your
all their
questions
guys.
with the Ravens were the defense, and I don't know if Cincinnati answers any of those questions.
But I think Cincinnati's offense is better than the Ravens' offense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it hasn't happened. We made the playoffs in the last 2 years.
We'll see. Joe Burrow's coming back.
Well, he was there all year last year. Where were they at last year?
I don't know. There were some, but I think, like, if they won any of those close games, they would have made the playoffs.
Yeah, but they lost them.
We'll see. And I think in the AFC East, the Bills have been sleepwalking there for like 4 years unchallenged, but now they're...
I'm not going to go on the record in writing off the 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
I'm not writing them off as quarterbacks. I'm saying as a team.
You realize they rebuild the teams. And when you have the quarterback figured out, it usually solves a lot of your problems.
Yes, but usually when you rebuild, you kind of include the quarterback. It's not even a rebuild. It's more of a retooling around the quarterback, which
it makes it easier.
It's hard to do because Josh Allen's not going to give you a good draft pick anytime soon.
Well, yeah, but you're saying about all these guys writing off. The Ravens could tank out the year, get a really good draft pick.
The Ravens aren't because they're going to try to compete for the playoff spot.
because they're probably going to make the playoffs. My goodness. Yeah. They're running away with it. Yes, we're going to end all this. We can end all this with...
I think it is worth mentioning that the 3 best teams we thought going into the year in this conference, none of them currently lead their division. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs might miss the playoffs. And
I don't think that's going to happen. But
the Bills were losing to the Texans at halftime after coming off of a few bad weeks.
Well, they played well last week. Last week, but Josh Allen had statistically maybe one of the best games in the history of the NFL. So
no, I'm saying 2 weeks ago. Sorry, 2 weeks ago they lost to the Dolphins.
Yep.
In a terrible game, and then they had a bye. Then they beat the Panthers, but then they lost the 2 before that.
Yeah, but they beat the Bucs, and Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns. So,
and I know Josh Allen's great, and I'm not saying that Josh Mahomes or Lamar are going to fall off. I'm saying I don't think those guys are going to get any better from what they've shown. I think we've seen the best of them, and it's going to be that way for a little bit. But like they're not going to ascend anymore. Whereas Drake May could even get better.
Well, yeah, Drake May could get better. Or, you realize Drake May kind of looks like Josh Allen did, so it's going to be like 4 or 5 years, and then it's going to teeter off a little bit.
So I'm saying that could be the changing of the guard in the AFC East.
I know. Hey, I'll tell you now, when Julian Sayin gets out there, game over.
Is he a college football player?
It's the Ohio State quarterback. He's a redshirt freshman.
I don't know. I don't follow that.
You should really start following this. Doesn't your team need a quarterback?
Adam, for the Saints, I tried watching more college football this year. And all I heard were a bunch of quarterbacks whose names sounded really good, and then they all just became bad.
Fernando Mendoza.
He's one of the few that hasn't, failed.
Ty Simpson's been really good.
Nussmeier was at the top of my list going to the season.
That was your first mistake, but
he has not done great. And then
I'll tell you who you could sell.
The kid that you loved, you called the next Drew Brees on Clemson.
Klubnik? Yeah, he hasn't been great. They can't run the ball at all. Clemson cannot run the ball to save their lives.
There's a Dante Moore who's maybe not the best prospect, but is playing really well.
He's a modern NFL quarterback, and he's from Oregon, where we've seen Oregon quarterbacks do really well. Bo Nix, Justin Herbert. So we've seen it. So you could persuade yourself on that. Mendoza, Ty Simpson. I'll tell you now who to not write off. Lenore Sellers. He's at South Carolina. They're having a down year, but he makes some throws that just make you go, holy smokes.
Where is that Ty Simpson kid from?
Alabama.
That's close to Louisiana.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is very close to Louisiana. The only fear with Ty Simpson is it's almost very similar to what Mac Jones did at Alabama. So that's the one thing that maybe concerned.
Adam, I just think you have to at least say it's interesting that the top 3 teams are, down this year at the same time.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting when, the Cavs were struggling during the regular season with LeBron, and then, they got to the playoffs and they just started routing people. Yeah, it's just great. It's great. Yeah. The Colts look like another team from when the Cavs in that 2015 year when they were kind of sleepwalking through the regular season.
I think it's a little different when LeBron has already won a bunch of titles.
Well, Patrick Mahomes hasn't won already a bunch of titles.
Mahomes is the only one you could give an excuse
That's
to,
what
but
I'm talking
Mahomes just
about.
got
That's what I'm talking about.
Mahomes just got embarrassed in the last Super Bowl. So I would have thought they'd come out a little hotter than previous years.
You realize
Josh
in
Allen
2020,
has never even made the Super Bowl, and neither has Lamar.
you realize in 2020 when they got embarrassed, they came out and had one of their worst. They weren't great in the regular season, right?
And
they lost in the AFC Championship.
Adam, they lost in the playoffs that year. That's
in the
proving my
AFC
point.
Championship game in overtime. That's like their floor is the AFC Championship game in overtime so far.
But with your Mahomes, you want the Super Bowl. They didn't make it that year.
I know they want the Super Bowl.
That was Mahomes' worst outcome of his career came.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to write off
that's
the Chiefs.
concerning. If you're Mahomes, you don't want that.
I'm not going to write them off because I do have this weird feeling we're going to get to the dance, and those three teams are going to be in it, and those three will be three of the final four in the AFC.
I genuinely just think these teams have a lot more holes than they have had in the past. Where now it's like, that's my point, is like these teams used to be great with a great quarterback.
Yeah.
Now they have a great quarterback, and then they have some good pieces around it, but then they just don't have a secondary, or they don't have a defensive line, or an offensive line.
You should be really happy. We might get Ravens-Bills in the first round. The wild card round could be awesome because these teams are down.
We're gonna have a weird situation. I think we're gonna have like the Colts, and we could have like the Patriots and the Colts as the home teams, as the higher seed, playing like the Bills and the Bills and the Chiefs, and we're just gonna be like, well, these teams that are on the road, lower seeds, are probably gonna be the favorite because no one's gonna want to bet against Mahomes or Josh Allen.
Yeah, then we'll somehow end up with like, I don't know, Steelers, Jags somehow will get a game, which would just be such a great playoff.
There's always
game.
one random like Saturday game where I'm just like, whatever.
The NFC South winner versus who would even be the top one? The Lions?
I mean, I think the Bucks could give a good game.
Yeah, no, but it'd be one of those where it could be like I'm trying to think because the NFC East.
The Panthers squeak in.
Panthers somehow win the division. Oh boy. Panthers
win, and they win
Panthers,
the
Eagles.
division, so they play a good wild card team, and they just
Panthers, Eagles.
No, because they can't, because they both win the division.
No, I'm not talking about Panthers somehow sneak in because their record's good enough to be like the 7 seed, and they sneak in
as a wild card team.
Yeah, they're the 7. It's kind of like the Steelers with when it was like the better than the bye game for the Chiefs the year that they didn't get the bye, and they played the Steelers in the first round of being like 35-7.
Well, I just want to share a thought that I had while watching the Bills be mediocre against the Texans today.
Yeah.
I mean, and Josh Allen got hurt in the beginning.
He did get hurt. Yeah, he did get hurt.
I don't even know what hurt, and then I thought he broke his hand or wrist, and then the next play he was out there. So I don't know.
Dang right. It cost me some Mitchell Trubisky time. I'm upset about it.
Right now it's 2016 Texans. I mean, and one of the Bills' touchdowns was literally a kickoff return.
Hey, that defense is hard to score against. Give them some credit.
Oh, I know the Texans defense is good. I'm all with you on that.
Yeah. You know, I saw a thing today though. The Texans are able to win this game. The Texans right now have lead the league in scoring and yards defense right now. Every team that's done that, I think they said, has made the playoffs. So they're 5-5 right now. If they were able to get a win today, get to 6-5, they wouldn't be out of it. I mean, Jags lose to the Cardinals, you're back to 6-5 there. The Chiefs maybe win, they get to 6-5, so it's just a cluster of 6-5 teams. Not out of it yet. Not out of it yet.
We'll see. I just want to share my thought. No, we can go into your picks unless there's any.
It's a fair thought. I just don't think it's gonna. I just don't want you to talk yourself into writing these boys off yet, man. They're young. They're babies.
Let's say this: if there was one of the 3 teams were to fall off this year and just kind of keep declining over the next 3-5 years, who would you pick?
I would have to pick. Oh, this is tough. Probably Buffalo, because I think their defense is aging and their offensive skill positions might be the worst of the 3.
Yeah. I think...
Because Rasheed and Xavier Worthy are young, so you could convince yourselves they're going to get better, and the defense is young, and the offensive line's young, so you could convince yourself with Mahomes and them being able to piece that together. But Lamar and them...
Ravens.
Yeah, I would say Derrick Henry retire, and that defense is old. So
I would say Derrick Henry just becomes basically just a fullback.
Yeah.
And then Mark Andrews gets older, and then they lose their run game. Mm-hmm. Lamar's, I think, going to become less and less of a runner each year. And then right now he's throwing to Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers hasn't done much this year.
I guess it's also the Bills because the Patriots are coming up. So it's kind of like maybe falling off and then trying to make risky moves to try to get back on top and maybe it failing them. So
yeah, I think
like,
the Bills
right
are
now
probably...
it's just the Bengals. So
I would say the Chiefs are in the toughest situation with the Chargers and the Broncos there.
And the Raiders.
But
get them a quarterback. Get them a quarterback.
No, we're not doing that. But I would say I think I'd feel the worst about Lamar. Of the three quarterbacks, Lamar would scare me the most going forward. And then I would say defensively, they've been terrible.
Yeah.
So we need to see it. And then I think they're the one that if they were to fire their coach, I think the Ravens would be at the top in terms of like most likely to fire a coach.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Bills will be up there, too. Sean McDermott's not. His seat's not. He's a defensive coach, and their defense hasn't been stellar.
I truly just think, like, Josh Allen, I trust the most of the three. And then, like,
well,
to
I'm
be
not going to say that at all. But okay.
I'm saying, like, to be good in 3 years, Josh, like, Mahomes is the oldest.
Yeah,
Josh,
but Patrick Mahomes.
Huh?
I would trust Patrick Mahomes over all of them. But
I think to be good in 3 years, Mahomes is doing this weird, like, being conservative for the last few years, and it's just like I want to see him light it up again more. We kind of talked about this the last few years of like he's been very, like simple and statistically not doing much.
I think you'll see it because they're in 5-5, so they got to start making some pushes. So they're gonna have to be more aggressive.
We've been saying that the whole season. They start off like 2-3 or something.
But now it's like you're definitely not winning the division because you're 3 games back above Denver. Well, Denver could collapse, I guess. So.
If any of these 3 teams missed the playoffs, I think that would have been like absolutely stunning going into the season.
Yeah, I think it could be scary because that puts them in the chance to get one of these receivers in this draft or develop something. Like they could. Them with a good draft pick is.
You know what the scariest of all this is? The Rams have the Falcons pick, and the Rams actually usually trade away their picks. This is one of the few times they actually have a first-round pick, and the Falcons suck. And they just lost their quarterback for the year, and Drake London's missing this week.
They're going to draft Matthew Stafford's successor, it seems like. So
maybe, unless Stafford's good for another 2 years, then you're like, dude, try to get a weapon.
Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love 2.0. Just do it again. Do it again.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they would have to love the guy. I don't think they're just going to draft a guy.
Yeah, I would say, or you just like really try to double down and win next year, draft some guy in defense or like a skill position or something.
Plus, right now, you probably could say, Drew Aller's probably falling to the second round. Cade Klubnik might be there in day 2. Like, there's guys who we thought were going to be good that are going to fall that you'd be like, we'll draft them late.
I highly doubt Drew Aller goes in the first round now. And
that's why I said second round.
You think he's still in the second round?
Yes. He's a 6'6" guy with a cannon of an arm. He will get drafted in the second round.
It's a cannon. It's a very inaccurate cannon.
Christian Hackenberg got drafted in the second round.
I was talking with my friend about this, and then he was saying, like, he's like, after the injury, he's like, you still think Drew gets drafted? I'm like, definitely he's going to get drafted. I'm like,
his floor is the second round. He's too much of a prototype that these scouts will drool all over.
But there's so many good quarterbacks that were coming in.
Plus, you also have people that have convinced themselves. Because Penn State's offense holding them back.
Penn State, I feel like, has not had it as even in like my whole time there. They haven't really had a great offense. It's always been like handoffs, and then I've kind of carried them good enough with a great defense.
Yep. So that's what you'd say. You'd say they're holding them back. It's happened. There's been a lot of quarterbacks. You hate when I bring this up as an example, but there will be someone that'll say Tom Brady's stats at Michigan weren't great. Greatest quarterback of all time. It's all about the prototype.
I also think even Brady, when he got into the league, wasn't lighting it up.
Plus, other thing with Drew Aller, you can draft him in the second round. He's a backup. If like the Rams would draft him, he's a backup.
I would honestly be surprised if he went even in the second round, just because there seemed like there was so many more
I think there's a chance he could get drafted in the first round. There's been much worse quarterbacks get drafted in the first round than Drew Aller.
I just don't think teams are going to want to do that.
I think
for a first round pick, like who really? I don't know.
Paxton Lynch got drafted in the first round.
We'll see.
There have been a lot of first-round draft picks at quarterback that have been like, that's interesting. There aren't many people that need quarterbacks. This would be one of the old guys saying, we got to get one. The Steelers might need a quarterback.
I mean, last year we had a ton of quarterbacks come in that were good. I mean, Caleb Williams at least is good enough to where the Bears aren't going to look for another one anytime soon. Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, all those teams I think are kind of set. And then
JJ.
I think the Falcons would, if they would draft someone else, I think they would. But
they won't. But
I mean, the Vikings, I think, would honestly move off of JJ if there was someone they loved.
They won't, but you can't after year 2. There's too much money there as a first-round quarterback. Like, J.J. McCarthy was the 10th pick in the draft. It's a lot of money, a lot of capital that you'd just be punting on. Don't want to look like the Niners unless you have a guy sitting there to take the job. The only reason John Lynch still has a job is because Brock Purdy ended up being a good quarterback.
Let's see. 4 years, fully guaranteed rookie contract worth $21 million with a $12 million signing bonus.
Mm-hmm. That's money. That's also a top 10 pick. GMs and coaches get fired for drafting quarterbacks in the top 10 and cutting them after 2 years.
What's that? It's only $5 million a year?
GMs and coaches get fired for drafting guys in the top 10 and them not being on the roster in the next 2 years.
I think Kevin O'Connell showed if he gets someone halfway decent, he could do things with them.
So someone actually made a good point. They should cut J.J. McCarthy and then re-sign him as a washed-up cut guy that they can then rebuild.
True.
They work. Plus, he's had flashes. They're not going to get rid of J.J. McCarthy after 1 year because then they should have just kept Sam Darnold. I think if they're bad
enough and there's someone that's actually really good, that's better than J.J., I think they would be the team because they have everything else but the quarterback right now.
So you're just going to write off the fact that the Steelers actually need a quarterback. And the Saints actually need a quarterback.
But I think the Steelers are going to have a better record than the Vikings.
Potentially.
And then the Saints are going to pick... I think the Saints are going to pick one. I think the Jets are going to pick one. Maybe the Rams take one to replace Stafford in a few years, but it's always tough to do that because then you're going to piss off your quarterback.
The Raiders?
Yeah.
The Cardinals?
Let me check the standings.
The Cardinals will take a quarterback.
Or let's just look at league.
Is Miami taking a quarterback?
All right, so I'm going in order from right now. If the season ended today.
Doesn't have to be high picks. We're talking any time in the first round.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, for the Vikings case, there have to be a team ahead of them, you know?
Yeah.
So, Titans, no. Giants, no. I think Saints, yes, that's one. Do you think Cleveland would take one?
Yes.
Cleveland would be 2. Jets would be 3. Yep. Raiders would be 4.
Yep.
Commanders, no. Falcons, I'd say yes.
They won't. They don't have a first-round pick anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, right. So that's actually Rams. Do you think Rams would?
I think they could. Not that high, but they could. If you were to put them as a maybe.
Well,
they fall in love with, like, Dante Moore, they might.
All right, so let's say there's 4. Let's not count maybe. So then Cardinals, I would say yes.
Yeah.
That's 5. Bengals, no. Dolphins, yes. That's 6.
Yep.
Then Vikings.
Yep.
It's actually a lot more teams than I thought, because I feel like I did this exercise a little bit ago.
And you didn't even get to the Steelers yet.
Do you not realize how high the Steelers are? The Steelers are 6-4.
The Steelers will finish 9-8. They will finish 9-8.
Yeah, but I don't think that these other teams are gonna get there.
Well, no, but you realize if they're not that far behind, they can trade up to get a quarterback because they need a quarterback because Aaron Rodgers is going to retire. Unless they like Will Howard, who looked good in the preseason accordingly until he got hurt. So
we'll see. I don't know what other teams there's no obviously teams at the top are usually pretty set at quarterback. I think going like the opposite direction, the best team that would probably take a quarterback right now, by record, is the Steelers. Do you think the Jags would?
No, they won't do that.
They're not going to give up on Trevor?
They can't financially. I think
Liam
Cohen wouldn't mind it, and the GM wouldn't mind it, but they can't. So they got to at least go one more year.
No. Panthers?
Bryce is playing well right now, though, so I don't think they would. They would consider it. It's another, if you fall in love with the guy, do you
That's
give
tough,
a call?
because Bryce is going to be good enough to where you're not going to just completely move off of him, but you know he's not going to win you Super Bowl. So
I think you give him one more year. You give him one more year. Because if he's bad, then you're there next year.
If you could tell the quarterback's not going to be your franchise QB that's going to lead you to the promised land, what's the point?
Yeah, but it's also if you're drafting at 18, are you going to have the guy you want at 18? Or are you going to be like reaching for a quarterback? You're like, I think maybe, but I don't know.
Honestly, the Texans, I feel like
they won't.
Could, but they're not.
They won't.
Chiefs,
don't blame everyone
no.
else.
Ravens, no. Cowboys, no. Vikings, maybe.
I won't say Cowboys, no. It's Jerry Jones. He could convince himself if Arch Manning enters and he's waiting there. He would convince himself to do it.
I don't think Arch is going to the draft this year, Adam.
He might. There's reports that Sark might be leaving. So is he going to stay in Texas without a head coach?
We'll see. All right, let's get to our weekly picks now. I think we had I don't even know what that segment was. It started with talking about the teams at the top of the AFC.
That was
and
your
transitioned
idea.
to-
That was all you, buddy.
I'm fine with that. And then somehow we got to quarterbacks. I think it's because the Saints got brought up.
Well, speaking of quarterbacks, let's go to upset picks. All right, Chris, you want to go first?
No, because I forgot which my pick was.
My goodness.
Let me check the schedule. You go first.
All right. Well, for me, I'm picking a team I love. No one supported these guys more than me all year long. I've been right there with them. I think they have wronged this man so much. Wronged him. And now he's getting an opportunity to shine. Give me the Browns to knock off the Raiders. Shadur Sanders getting the start. Potentially could be the greatest quarterback of all time. He's wearing the 12. There's comparisons to Brady. He could be the greatest quarterback of all time. He won't be. But he could be. You never know. But the real reason I'm picking this, the Browns are going to dominate this game defensively. The Raiders' offense hasn't been great, and Myles Garrett is playing this week for Cleveland, so I think their defense is going to dominate. I think there will be a spark with Shadur starting because there'll be so much fanfare and so much attention on this game that I think everyone will be up for it and ready to go. The one fear would be the Raiders are going to be up for it as well, especially Max Crosby on that side. Pass rusher trying to give Shadur some more welcome to the NFL moments. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it. So I will take the Browns to knock off the Raiders.
Shame on you. You've come on here. So anti-Shadur.
Once.
So many times. And now you're going to pick him in his first start.
Yep.
Against a terrible team. I think if you pick the Browns to win, just because you hate the Raiders, I would allow that. But this Shadur is going to be energy thing, I'd allow it from anyone but you, Adam.
I'm not saying he's going to break. I'm just saying the defense might be up a little bit more. Which might be because they don't trust him. Might be like, hey, we got a bitch shut out here, boys. We got to get rolling here, man.
But I think you should be banned from picking Shadur. Kind of like how I usually like.
That sounds like a man who's afraid I'm going to get it right.
Listen, I almost picked the Browns to win too because I think, both teams can't pass, but at least the Browns can run the ball.
Dang right.
There's actually one page, I don't know the name of it, so I'm sorry I can't shout it out, but they look at the Raiders blocking each week and just go over the biggest blunders that they've made. One of which was the safety, to where they just did not block a guy.
Yep.
Which immediately led to a safety. I really think the Raiders are terrible, so I like the pick. I do.
Dang right.
But I'm not picking Shadur in his first start.
I think they're going to win. I don't think the offense is going to do much. I think they win this game like 20-13. Rely on the run game. Shadur off play action, make some easy throws. Defense locks up.
Well, for my pick, I'm really in a tough spot here because there's a few games that I have where I just think
big game hunting. Go big game hunting. You want me to give you the one I almost picked? Want to give you one I almost picked?
Yes.
I was almost rolling with my Meow Mix podcast, boys. Almost took the Panthers +7 out in San Francisco.
That's honestly kind of a big spread.
Yep. For a lot of points.
Adam, what's the point system? Is there a difference between -3 and -3.5?
Yep.
Okay. Then in that case, I'm gonna go with the Colts to beat the Chiefs. It's an Arrowhead, so I'm a little scared to pick the Colts on the road, especially in an outdoor stadium that's been worse.
Yes.
And the Chiefs do need a win.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think the Colts. I think the Colts. They looked good last week. I believe in that team.
They didn't play last week.
To me, the last time I saw them play, they beat the Falcons overseas.
They didn't look great, but you needed overtime to beat the
Falcons.
Falcons.
Their offense looked good. Their defense, Sauce Gardner kind of got sauced in the end zone. I almost picked the Vikings to beat the Packers, and I want to pick the Cardinals to beat the Jags, but it's only -3 for the Jags.
Yep.
Adam, I'm changing my mind again. Give me the Cardinals to beat your Jaguars. Give me I can't pick against in Arrowhead. I'm not picking against the 5-5 Chiefs. They need the win.
You just wrote them off.
I did not wrote them off. I said it's weird and they might not be the top of the top of the top like they always are.
My goodness.
Give me the Cardinals to beat the Jags.
Jags just beat the Chargers 35-6, and this is
exactly.
What you're doing.
Now they're going to play a non-divisional game. They're going to feel good about themselves. Now they're going to come back down to earth. The Cardinals just had an amazing passing game that amounted to 0 points, really. Yeah. Like that, what did they score, 6? I don't even know. Yeah. So give me the Cardinals. It's in Arizona, which I feel better about. I think the Cardinals aren't really trying to like bottom out, so I think they're gonna still be trying compared to some of these bad teams. This is where we kind of have to be careful because teams now kind of are at that point where they're positioning for the draft picks in the
Yeah.
middle because they could kind of tell which way the season's gone for them.
Don't know why I'm complaining. I was going to try to talk you off the Chiefs pick by saying the Chiefs are 4-1 at home, and the Colts, who are 6-0 at home, they're 2-2 on the road.
That's what I mean. Was I really don't like that it's in Arrowhead. I'm gonna be honest. If it was in Indianapolis, I'd pick the Colts.
Well, yeah. Also, the spread wouldn't be 3.5 though. Spread would be a lot different if it was in Indy. So,
What do you think it'd be?
Home field normally gives you 3, so it'd probably be like a pick 'em. Maybe Chiefs -1.5.
I think it'd be Chiefs. I think the Chiefs would still get it.
Yeah, they'd probably be -1.5. I think that's what it was for the Broncos game. I think they were 1.5 point favorites or something like that. Like it was a low. They would have been like a pick 'em open right there. So. All right. Well, let's go into game picks now, Chris. I do lead you by 2 in upset pick rankings. By 2 points. We have the same record, but we have 2 points. We still have this weird thing where if one of us gets it right, we both get it right, but we've also both got it wrong a lot on the same weeks, too. So we have identical records, but I picked the bigger spread in one of the weeks, which has affected the numbers a little bit.
That's why I was trying to pick the Colts, but then I just remembered, like, I'm not. Yeah. I think the Chiefs could easily win by a field goal, but...
Yeah, I have 21 points. You have 19 points. Game picks, I am 4 games up on you now, Chris.
Adam, I was inching on you each week, then I just had a terrible last week.
Yes, you did. So we'll start at the 1 o'clock hour. Chiefs Colts, probably the biggest game of the week when you look at quarterbacks, names, records, all that stuff. Probably the biggest game. Bucks Rams is also there this week. Eagles Cowboys, of course, with name recognition, it's a huge game. Chris, you're taking the Colts, I believe. It was your upset pick. I don't think you're maneuvering off of it.
I'm still going to take the Colts.
Yeah.
And I know you're like, well, why wouldn't take them for upset pick? For the upset pick, there's only one pick we can make, so I kind of want to be more of a sure thing of like, I feel better about it. This is more, I can take more risks here. Give me the Colts to beat the Chiefs. I think Mahomes is going to be in a must-win game in Arrowhead. Colts are bad on the road. Chiefs are great at home. However, the Chiefs haven't really looked right for most of the season. I thought they were peaking like 4 weeks ago. Then they played the Bills. They lost that close one. They lost to the Broncos, and now I just don't know what to do with them.
I'm not picking against Mahomes and the Red Kingdom. Give me the Chiefs to knock off the Colts here at home. I think big game for the Chiefs to get a big-time dub. And I did have concerns for the Colts after that game. Give 25 points to the Falcons. Needed overtime to beat them. Needed some Raheem Morris masterclass to lose that game. So
listen, the Patriots only beat them by because of a missed extra point.
Yes, Raheem Morris invents ways to lose games. That's what I'm saying.
I think he has to be gone at the end of the year, but that's a separate discussion.
Yes, he does, but I don't make the calls down there in Atlanta.
Maybe for like Valentine's Day, we do like breakups or something instead.
Well, by Valentine's Day, though, they better already be broken up.
That's a good point. That's a great point, Adam.
After the Super Bowl. Anyway, here we'll go on to Steelers-Bears. Chris, who do you got here in this one? In Chicago, the Bears have been hanging on by the skin of their teeth to win some of these games, including needing a walk-off field goal to beat the Vikings last week.
I kind of missed the whole Rodgers injury because we talked about I was unable to watch Sunday for the first time. Even if Rodgers plays or if he doesn't play, I'm taking the Bears. I don't love the Bears, but I think with Ben Johnson, they're at least a competent team where they could win these in-between games now, so give me the Bears.
All right, I'm picking this as Rodgers is not playing, so I am taking the Bears. If Rodgers plays, though, he owns that franchise, and that franchise knows he owns them. So I think there could be some problems there, but I will take the Bears here as well. Patriots-Bengals in Cincinnati. The Bengals coming off a horrible loss, 34-12 to the Steelers. Not that losing to the Steelers was bad, but scoring 12 points against the Steelers, probably not what this offense was looking for. And Jamar Chase is suspended because he broke a cardinal sin of let's not spit on people, guys. Let's not do it.
It's one of those things that's like it's just so stupid. Like, it doesn't cause the other person harm, but you get fined as if you punch them in the face. So at that point, just punch them in the face.
Well, it's even more disrespectful.
It's more disrespectful than the actual action, but like, what is Jalen Ramsey if you spit on him? Like, what does that accomplish?
Well, I don't understand. If you punch him, you could break your hand. Punch in a helmet. Dumbest thing in sports.
I would not punch the helmet. I would, honestly, I'd rather have him get a cheap shot on Ramsey, get fined, and suspended a game, because just spitting him does nothing. Just still get you suspended. It doesn't make any sense.
It was so dumb. And then he denied that he spit on him. They reviewed the footage. I thought it was pretty clear that he spit on him. And then his justification was, I didn't spit on him because if I would have spit on him, I would have spit in his face, not on his jersey or on the ground. I'm like, that's not the best defense in the.
Listen, this is like an all-time peak for spitting on people, by the way.
Jalen Carter set us up for a phenomenal year in this, so.
It really doesn't make sense to me, and like the cameras are so good, we can literally see the large amount of saliva going out of his mouth.
Yeah, so I'm taking the Patriots. Assuming you're doing the same.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I actually was upset because the Bengals would have got that win against Steelers. Joe Burrow is probably going to be back after Thanksgiving, the reports are now. So would have had a chance to make maybe a push at this thing, but they lose back-to-back here with the suspension of Jamar Chase. Not going to help. Jets-Ravens. Jets got a great win 2 weeks ago, but now they got to play the Ravens here. Chris, who do you got?
Ravens. Not picking the Jets.
Too.
No way.
Me too. Ravens did not look great, though, against that Browns team. Not look great for a long period of time, but we'll take the Ravens. Did need a fake tush push to get the win in that game. Seahawks, Titans. Seahawks make the trip out. Tennessee nearly upset the Texans last week. Now they take on the Seahawks, who are coming off an emotional loss to the Rams.
Seahawks.
Me too. Couldn't agree more, Chris. Now we'll go to Packers-Vikings in Green Bay. Packers needing to, get me up. They did get the win, but didn't look great against the Giants for long periods of time. We're able to gut out a win against Jameis, ending in a Jameis fashion loss for the Giants. And the Packers now looking to keep rolling at home in Lambeau against the Vikings, who are coming off a tough loss to the Bears.
Not a J.J. McCarthy fan. But the Vikings have random weeks where they're decent enough, and the Packers are really irritating me. Give me the Vikings.
Alrighty, Chris. Taking the Vikings. I'm going to take the Packers here to get the win. But I think JJ is going to be pressured a lot. Offensive line's been an issue for Minnesota this year. JJ did not play good in that first 3 quarters, but went nuts and had the game-winning touchdown with 50 seconds left potentially, but then they gave a long kick return that set up the Bears for the game-winning field goal. But I will take the Packers here to get the win at home. Giants-Lions, still no word on who's starting for the Giants. Looks like Jackson Dart might be back, taking on the Lions, coming off that loss where their offense didn't look great in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, we talked earlier about the AFC, who's at the top. I don't know what to do with the NFC because I really just think it's a Rams, Seahawks, Eagles, and everyone else is below that. But we thought the NFC North was going to have like 3 teams in that tier. The Lions, we thought maybe the Vikings if JJ's good. We thought the Packers would be there. We thought the Bears could be there. And they're all just kind of like one tier down where we don't know what to do with them. The Lions, I can't tell if they're great or mid. But I'm still going to take them to be the Giants. But if it's Jameis always has one magical game where he just lights up a defense.
I'm taking the Lions here.
You have to, but I'm not going to be surprised if Jameis lights them up.
You said they really don't have teams in that tier. They're probably still going to end up with 3 teams in the playoffs. That's the weird part about it.
But I don't think we're going to view them as like a real Super Bowl contender,
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But if the Lions get in, I guess I'd have to consider them a possibility because they've been that team up top that keeps falling short, like last year losing their first game. Maybe as the underdog, they could make a run, potentially.
Especially now with this year, the fact they lost to the Commanders, who whole season fell apart. It's just kind of crazy.
Well, the Lions didn't lose to the Commanders. They smacked them around, but the Lions scored like 40 points on the Commanders.
But the Commanders won.
No, they didn't.
The Commanders beat the Lions in the playoffs.
Oh, last year. I thought you were talking about this year.
No,
they played literally 2 weeks ago. That's what I thought you were talking about.
I was saying, the fact they lost the Commanders in the playoffs is, insane, especially this year. It's I
thought you were talking about the regular season game. I'm like, the Lions just beat them 2 weeks ago. Jalen,
and then the year before that, they lost to a very good Niners team. No shame in that, but,
there was shame in it. The way they lost was not
the way they lost was terrible, but, if you just said you lost to the Niners, you could respect that.
Yeah, they were up 20-3, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson was celebrating like they won the Super Bowl already.
I hate that guy.
Yeah.
Former Saint.
Yep, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Super Bowl champion, I believe, C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, punched by a Bears guy once. Was kind of funny.
Yeah. On the Eagles last year, got a Super Bowl ring. Jags-Cardinals. Chris, you're taking the Cardinals here. It is your upset pick, sacrificing a potential point by not taking the Colts.
I am.
I'm taking the Jags. I'll take my boys here. I picked against them last week, Chris. Picked the Chargers. Didn't work out for me. But
Yeah, we both picked the Chargers.
yeah, I'll pick them this week. I thought that loss to the Texans would turn into 2, but they played great last week, so I'll ride with them once again. Browns Raiders, my upset pick. Shedeur and the boys going out to Vegas and getting a big-time win, taking off on Pete Carroll and the boys on a short week as well. They played Monday night.
I can't take Shedeur. I'm sorry.
Wow. You're the hater now. You're the hater now.
He looked really bad, and now I know he's actually going to be more prepared because he knows he's starting.
He's never had first-team reps. This is the first time he's got first-team reps.
I think this is going to be a terrible game for the Raiders offense. The Browns defense is good, and especially at home, like the Raiders or the Browns have been great, but this game is in Las Vegas, so that, you know, if it was in Cleveland, give me the Browns, but it's not, so give me the Raiders.
Still riding with the Browns. Hey, Kevin Stefanski, by the way, I'm going to call him out on something here, Chris. Absolutely coaching malpractice. The fact that Bailey Zappi has gotten 0 first-team reps this week. Am I doing this right? Backup quarterback. How's he not getting any first-team reps? Absolutely ridiculous. What are we doing? I don't know what they're doing over there. Did I do that right, Shedeur fans? Did I do that right? I think I did. I think that's how you're supposed to do it when the backup's not getting any first-team reps. All right, Chris, your boys, the Saints, taking on the Falcons. I believe they're favored in this game. Big Kirko coming into New Orleans. Are you going to take your boys here? Awful bye?
The Falcons are really bad.
They find ways to lose games.
The issue with the Falcons is they have so many shiny toys that you feel like they just have to be better.
But they're missing maybe one of the shiniest. Well, Drake's one of the shiniest.
Oh, Drake, yeah. I thought you were talking about Penix for a second, and I was like, what?
No, Drake London.
So Drake London has been a revelation for that Falcons offense. He's one of the few reasons why they can do anything. But the Falcons learned how to score some touchdowns last week, especially by giving Bijan the ball. Who would have thought that's a good idea in the red zone? I'm going to take the Falcons. Wow. And I hope the Falcons win for the Saints' sake, because I need the Saints to lose for a better pick.
But Tyler Shuck could be the guy. Last time we saw him, he got a win. Beat the Meow Mix podcast. Not many people are beating the Panthers right now.
He did. You know, and Shuck actually doesn't look terrible. But once again, he is not winning you the Super Bowl. So what's the point of?
I'm not asking him to win you a Super Bowl. I'm asking you, can he beat the Falcons?
If you're the quarterback of my team, if you are not a super caliber quarterback and the team sucks anyways, keep being bad. Try to get a great quarterback game that could win you a Super Bowl.
Man, and then against your own team, against your Falcons, your biggest rivals, Christopher.
I do hate the Falcons, but this year I decided I need my. Actually, it doesn't even matter if the Falcons are good or bad because they don't even have their own pick.
Yeah, you could just be helping the Rams out. You love the Rams.
And I hate the Rams too because of the 2018. Give me the Falcons. I actually would not be surprised though, obviously, if the Saints won because besides Bijan, I don't know. Like the Falcons, it's gonna be Kirk Cousins throwing to Darnell Mooney and Kyle Pitts.
If they win, remember I tried to help you. I tried to get you to pick them.
You talked me into the Saints winning before, and it failed, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to help you out. I'm taking the Falcons.
You suck.
I'm a big Kirk Cousins guy.
Well, you're letting where your mouth is. You're going to tell me to pick the Saints.
No,
you pick the Saints
I'm telling you to pick the Saints. You would have done this to me to the Jags. I would have picked them. But this is different. I'm not a Saints fan. I'm a Kirk Cousins fan. I love the Coles Cash. I love the dances in the locker room with all the chains on.
Kirk Cousins is really bad. Last time I saw him play in New Orleans, he did not score a single touchdown, but the Falcons did win the game.
They'll find a way. It was a
punt return that was muffed by Rashid Shaheed, and then they scored a defensive touchdown, and then there was some other weird baloney thing, and then the Younghoe Koo hit his career high 57-yard field goal to win it as time expired. So.
Yep. I'm interested to see where you go with this one, Chris. Eagles-Cowboys, America's game of the week. Big rivalry game. You love the Cowboys.
I do, and they've let me down every week since the beginning.
You hate the Eagles. You despise the Eagles.
I hate the Eagles because they win. So I'm picking the Eagles. No. Listen,
they don't normally sweep the Cowboys, Chris. They don't normally get the sweep over the Boys.
The Cowboys are really good at home against NFC East. Brian Russillo did a whole thing about why he dislikes watching the Eagles, and it was exactly how I feel. I sent it to our buddy Joe Tuman. The main point is that the Eagles just have a bunch of likable and really amazing to watch players, and they somehow put them all together and made the product so boring to watch. That's my problem with the Eagles. Last year when it was fun watching Saquon, I enjoyed the Eagles. Now it's not that fun to watch him. The passing game's atrocious. Jalen Hurts half the time looks like he's, like a good backup, and then the other half the time he looks like a top 5 quarterback. It's really inconsistent. So I just hate watching them. But they do manage to win these games. Give me the Eagles because I just feel stupid picking against them.
So sad. So sad. You didn't even pick the reason why they're going to win this game. I said it on Sunday. They have the best defense in the NFL right now. They are playing phenomenal football right now defensively. So I'll ride with them. I'll ride with them, man. They held what? They held the Packers to 7 and the Lions to 9.
I mean, I think personally the Texans defense has the hardest job every week of trying to.
Well, you're saying how boring the Eagles are. They're not even trying to score points if they're winning games. They're not even.
The Texans, though, the Texans aren't, I don't love watching C.J. Stroud and Woody Marks. I mean, Nico Collins is probably the only guy that's great.
And really good football right now.
He is, but it's not Saquon, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith.
Woody's a rookie. He ran all over Penn State.
They're not these big stars that are so fun to watch that are being wasted.
Hey, I'll tell you now, though. Texans currently lead 23-16 in the fourth quarter over the Bills. They score 3 more points here, Chris. They would have matched the Eagles' point total in the last 2 weeks.
James Cook, though, 21-yard run just happened.
Well, he did have a 45-yard touchdown today, so.
Yeah, he did, and now he's had a big run.
Yep.
We'll see how it goes.
I'm taking the Birds. I love the Birds. I'll be the Eagles guy on the show. Dang right. Bucks, Rams in SoFi. I don't think they're wearing the black and yellow uniforms that they wore last week. What they call them, midnight or whatever they were calling them. I thought they looked like a bad rendition of the 1989 Batman film. But that's what they decided to wear. They take on the Bucks here, reeling off a 44-32 loss, and the Bucks seemingly never going to be healthy again. So, Chris, who do you got?
I really think the spread is probably too high, and I feel just bad for the Bucks because I think they're they could be a fun team. They're so injured. It's so tough. I think Bucky Irving might come back, and I think if they get Bucky Irving back and he's actually healthy, that could change the team. However, I don't know if he's going to come back and be himself. Sean Tucker showed some stuff last week. He had, I think, 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
Igbukah has still been good. Kind of had more, busts lately than booms, but he's still solid. I just can't pick them when I don't like their team because there's just 8 gigantic holes missing. So give me the Rams.
Take the Rams as well. I think the Rams are
classic
really, really
letdown
good.
week, Adam.
Oh, absolutely.
Coming off a huge divisional win against the other best team in the league right now.
I never like these teams coming cross country though. Never like it. So I'll take the Rams here, coming all the way to Tampa, coming all the way to SoFi with the Bucks having to travel. So I think the Texans just got a 4th and 1 stop.
Wow.
Texans getting the ball back with 10 minutes left.
Josh Allen version of the tush push?
Yeah, I think so. Nope, they handed it off to James Cook and he didn't get it.
I love James Cook, but on a 4th and 1, I'd probably go Josh.
That didn't work in the AFC Championship game, Chris.
Well, it worked earlier today with Josh. Maybe because he's got hurt earlier. I don't know. Yeah, earlier, Josh did a Superman dive over the whole line.
Yeah, it could be playing a little closer to the chest. And last one here, my Meow Mix boys, the Panthers, taking on the 49ers. Chris, who do you got here? Monday Night Football in Santa Clara, the home of the Super Bowl this year?
I am going. Actually, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about whenever the games are in California and it's so light out, it doesn't feel like the Super Bowl to me because it's just game's over and it's now you have the sunset. It's just weird. I kind of like it when it's on the East Coast. It feels more like a normal Super Bowl. Anyways,
I'll tell you now, as someone who's worked a Super Bowl, West Coast is so nice. You get done and it's 10 o'clock. It's cold. That's nice. It's not 1:30 in the morning.
Well, but I just think it needs to be nighttime the whole time.
Well, they play in a dome half the time anyway. So
yeah, I like it. Whatever.
It's gonna be outside, but it's gonna be inside everywhere else for the most part.
Well, anyways, I'm going to go with the Niners. I am concerned because Brock Purdy statistically was good last week, but I've heard that he wasn't playing that well despite the good stats. That's what people have been saying. As I said earlier, did not get to watch last week's games, and that is a very rare incident. If this is your first time, this kid doesn't watch the games. Listen, I watched every single week but one. Just happened to be last week.
Can't have weeks off. Unacceptable.
I think there are times when it's okay.
Should have punished you for it. No, because you didn't even, you picked a bad week.
I didn't pick the only one available.
You should have looked out. You should have looked.
I wish I got lucky and I just got, the week before that would have been great.
Did you do what I do and plan your plans around what's going on in the world?
I planned it over a random holiday that I'm not aware of from another country on a Monday. So I was like, well, if that's the only time that she's off on a
What's it
Monday,
called?
that's
What's it
the
called?
weekend.
What's it called? What Mexican holiday is it?
Was it their Independence Day?
I don't know. That's Cinco de... No, Cinco de Mayo is not their Independence Day. It might have been their Independence Day.
Adam, you would have. Oof.
It's not Cinco... I know it's not Cinco de Mayo.
You almost said it, Adam. That would have,
Some of us have studied Mexican culture in college.
Adam, I know that. I'm just saying if you fully completed it, that's like a big, it's a big red flag.
Said it's not Cinco de Mayo, but I don't know the exact day for them.
I'll look it up.
Okay, well, I'm taking the Niners as well. Can't trust my Meowmix podcast in prime time. They're the classic 1 o'clock, never losing that 1 p.m. slate. But once you get them to prime time, get a little worried about it. But nah, I'll take the Niners here. Brock maybe didn't look good, but the stats looked good. Jacoby Brissett had empty stats in that game. Can we talk about that? 47 completions. They were down by 20 the entire game. Come on now.
By the way, the 17th is Revolution Day.
So is that when they declared their revolution? Kind of like our...
Revolution Day Memorial is... It's the revolution started to get rid of this president that they had.
Spanish president? Like, is this like Spain?
Mexico
declaring their independence from Spain?
Well, there's only one solution. ChatGPT.
Ay.
But I think... Do you think Brock Purdy looked good last week? I wasn't able to see, so I don't know.
I said he didn't look great, but the statistics were good, and they blew out the team they were playing, so that's good. Score 41 points and you win. I mean, I'm not going to say you play bad.
What was that? I think they're getting Pearsall back, and Jennings looks healthy now, finally.
Yep.
But
for now.
Yeah.
They'll all be hurt in probably 3 weeks.
True. And now let me talk about Mexican Revolution Day. Dia de la Revolucion. Celebrate November 20th.
It's Dia de la Revolucion, by the way. It's Dia.
What'd I say?
Like Dia. You just went too quick and lowered the tone. Get loud. It's Mexican
culture. Listen. It marks the start of the revolution. When people rose up against a dictator who'd been in power for 30 years. I don't think it was against Spain. I think it was just against someone who was a dictator.
So, like, their second revolution. The French have multiple revolutions. I love French culture.
Did any of them ever succeed in France?
They both did.
They both succeeded? I thought one of them failed.
Yes.
I watched their heads. That's my only knowledge of it. Anyways, it was a Mexican president, not Spain.
It's okay. So, it was them fighting against themselves. It was an uprising.
Do you hear the people sing? Great movie. Great play.
Musical.
So the holiday gets moved to the third Monday of the month to make for longer weekends.
So it's like our
technically on the 20th.
So it's like our Thanksgiving. That's the fourth Thursday.
Yeah. But that concludes all of our game picks, Adam.
Yes, it does. You need a big week, Chris. I don't think you can statistically tie it. I don't know if we differed on 4 games. Let's see. 1.
Well, there's still plenty of weeks
2,
left.
3, 4. Now we actually did differ on 4. If you sweep me, if you go perfect this week, potentially.
I am 90% sure that my Packers-Vikings pick is wrong.
Yeah.
I think I might have a chance with the Cardinals. I think I have a real chance. I think I have a real chance with the Raiders.
I don't like that either.
I don't think I have a chance with the Colts and the Chiefs.
I think you have I think that's probably your best chance. You picked the best team in the NFL to beat a 5-5 team. You have a chance.
I mean, the Colts are tied for the best record, but it's like they weren't ranked well.
You're out here like, man, I don't know if I have a chance picking the Colts, but my gosh, I'm picking Geno Smith. I think I got a great chance.
I'm sure. They're going to do great.
Jacoby Brissett, great chance.
Well, next week, we're going to post on Monday like normal. And then on Wednesday, we're going to post our preview because Thursday is Thanksgiving.
I guess Chris doesn't want to talk to me. He's not thankful for me. I see how it is.
Adam, I'm the one that said we could record Thursday night.
Yeah, but I don't want to take away your plans if you're going somewhere.
No plans. Just me by myself at home.
I might have a little, drink. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking
enjoy myself.
We could do a Friday recap or just do Wednesday preview.
A Wednesday preview sounds the best to me, buddy. Seems like the best idea. Don't want to change up the rhythm. No, you ain't got rhythm. No, you ain't got rhythm. Chris, I got second place in trivia tonight.
Nice job, buddy.
First place last week, second place this week. We're rolling high, baby. 61 points last week, 64 points this week. Lost by 1. Tough loss, but we did get a $15 gift card. So
Nice. Currently in my fantasy football, just getting ready for the playoffs. Both my leagues, I just secured the playoff spots. Now I'm just like, I wish I could just rest them and just give them a little rest so they're fresh.
It doesn't work that way, bud.
No, it does not.
I mean, you could call it. You could DM them and ask if they'd sit out for you. But
listen, this is truly one of the best teams I've had. And if I,
does it go to week 18?
No.
All right. I didn't know what they were doing.
It is, I believe it's 2 weeks each round. There's 2 rounds. And then
you're talking about Joe's league, right?
Yes.
Do you want any of my players?
I hate when people do that, Adam.
Well, they might all be in free agency before the end of the day. So
you're not allowed to do that.
No one said I can't.
It is obvious etiquette to not just give your players away.
I'm telling you. Let me pull up my team. Let's see who do
Adam,
I not
please.
I
think Joe would honestly ban that.
Well, he can't ban it yet.
He could go to League Tools and just remove them from the roster.
Man, he's gonna take me. He's gonna take my guys. He's gonna take my team. Look, you're telling me Saquon Barkley's a good player? Come on now. Rico Dowdle. Ugh.
Rico, yes.
Devontae Adams. Oh my God.
Yes.
People don't need him. T. Higgins.
We're actually in a very funny spot where our whole league is
no one wants Roma Dunze.
We have 2 really dominant teams, 2 really good teams, and everyone else was kind of eh.
Plus, these guys aren't very good right now. Look at them. These guys are on a losing team. We're 4-7. Who would want that losing culture in their locker room? Wouldn't be me.
I think Joe would have to ban it if that ever occurred.
I think we got to figure things out. I think we got to. Did our trade deadline happen yet? I know some of them are coming up. When was our trade
I believe
deadline?
it's this week.
All right. Well, do you still want any of my players? I'll give you a discount. If you won't let me cut everybody, because I think the Bills just had a big play to Khalil Shakir, so they're back in it. But you could still trade for some of my players. I'll give you a bargain discount.
No,
I'm a nice guy.
I honestly
if you don't do it, somebody will. I'm just saying. I have connections. I will make moves.
I truly don't even know who in your team I would take over someone on my team right now.
Well, I'll tell you now, there's a team you're playing this week that seems pretty thin at the running back position.
I'm going to text Joe.
What do you mean? I can make a trade? Am I not allowed to make a trade? See, now Chris is getting mad because I'm potentially helping people win the league. It's a shame. What? It's Adam Sheets versus Jack Kiefer, who's 3-8 and I'm 4-7. No one's watching that game. We're trying to get these players opportunities to win championships. Some of us want to see them succeed. They're great locker room guys. They're ready to leave. Devontae's on his last legs. He's not coming back next year. He wants his own place. He wants to go back to, Sketch Morton's organization.
Well, I'm sure the listeners are thrilled with our fantasy football conversation.
But I'm just saying, I'm putting these trades in. They could get vetoed. I don't know.
They will get vetoed.
Now Chris is getting all upset. What if it's a fair trade?
If it was a fair trade, that's a fair trade.
What if I asked for Alvin Kamara and
just 3 points a game?
Well, hey, he's starting in Sketch's lineup. I'm going starter for starter. Alvin Kamara and Cortland Sutton for Saquon Barkley. That's not a bad trade.
Yeah.
That should be reasonable.
Well, we'll see.
I'm offering you a chance to make trades here, and you're not biting.
I honestly looked at your team. I don't know who's better than someone on my team.
Oh, let's check. Let's see who Chris got. I know his team's pretty good.
RJ Harvey's my worst player, but he's in a bye right now. But
yeah,
we have Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Drake May, Trey McBride. All those guys are untouchable. And then my receivers are Buka, George Pickens. But T. Higgins is kind of high variance. I don't know if I want T. Higgins.
Devontae for Wilson.
Huh?
Devontae for Wilson.
That's so unfair that would get vetoed.
Devontae for Wilson and Montgomery. I need running backs.
I hate this. I'm not doing that. No.
Wow.
I think that's a great trade for me.
Devontae's going to end up somewhere, Chris. Devontae doesn't want to be around anymore. He's caused some problems in my locker room. There's some rumblings going on. Brian Thomas Jr. wants playing time, and he's not getting much of it right now. So I got to find room for him. Had a long talk with him. He's a young guy. He promised me he's going to play well this week. I got to find a way to get him in. You want Jesse Bates? Big kicker.
No. No. I have Boswell.
They're not scoring any points the rest of the year. They're scoring touchdowns now, too. Defensive touchdowns, too. It's crazy. Man. We'll see. We'll see if this ends up hurting you in the playoffs. Plus, the commissioner might not like it. But the commissioner end up with
I already have let Joe know he's on watch and will veto any trade. If it is in bad taste.
Well, Joe's got Devontae Smith. Huh. Like some youth on my team.
We're gonna end here. The mean you're gonna continue this discussion.
I'm just saying,
thank you all for listening. I highly doubt you've made it through the last 10 minutes of Adam trying to have me turn to the dark side. Next time we'll be back. Will be Monday after the Week 12 games, and then after that we're gonna do a preview of the next week. We're also gonna try to get some NBA on here. There's rumors, Adam, of a potential NBA Cup preview with Joe Tuman.
Yeah.
We'll let the viewers know about that. But I want to get some basketball in here. Basketball's awesome.
Oh, the Bus family got fired today. Outside of Jeannie. She fired her brothers again.
Yeah, I think that's fine. You know. They're not even like the main owners anymore, so it's kind of weird having the whole Bus family still in there.
Yeah, but yeah, they got fired today. Bronny got sent back to the G League. Dang.
Did he?
Yeah. LeBron was the betting favorite to win G League MVP and he'd never played a game. How disrespectful of LeBron James.
Well, we'll get to basketball next time. For now, we're going to end with football. We'll see. We'll add in some basketball, Adam. We'll surprise the listeners with some basketball. Any last words?
Nope, I got nothing. I'm making trades.
Well, thank you for listening. Next time you see us, I'll probably be yelling at Adam for trading away his best players for no one. And we'll see you next time.